Hi, it's Angelo again with an update. It's been a few since I've updated you on what's going on with me and my condition. One thing I want to talk about today was being defined by your condition, and that's a tricky topic because anybody who has a sort of life altering or terminal condition or issue, something that can easily define a person. Um, I had a good question the other day from my friend Chris, who half jokingly but half seriously said to me, "How is it that you have posted online that you have an issue with being defined by your condition, and yet that's all that you talk about?" He said. Um, and I said, well, that's a good question, Chris, because um, a few things. It's a struggle. It's a duality. It's a conundrum, and I surely don't want to be defined by my condition. And for me, it's that I have an oligodendroglioma brain tumor that came with a side of epilepsy, which I would say maybe the brain tumor is the side to the epilepsy because I have seizures every day and sometimes they're pretty significant. Um, I It's hard to say because having this condition, having these episodes, this epilepsy, it it definitely is a defining characteristic of the person that I now am. Before all of this had happened, before September 2013, I didn't have an issue with epilepsy. I had other issues in my life. Perhaps they were relationship issues, perhaps they were personal issues, but there's a multifarious array of issues that can define us. And when something is so uh, large as being epileptic or having a brain tumor, especially for someone like me, who has made this a cause, I've been working very hard to be an advocate for those, a supporter and a proponent of those who have epilepsy and who have experienced brain tumors, who have gone through brain tumor biopsies, all of the elements that I've experienced in my oligodendroglioma, which is a specific type of brain tumor that I have, which is currently inoperable to my understanding, that it's something that I can use not as a crutch, but as something that I can use to identify with other people and maybe to help other people to their own understanding. Granted, I need my own understanding through my own condition, but I am not myself a condition. I am, I suppose, a byproduct of my condition and a variety of other uh, variables. So, that being said, good question, Chris, and I appreciate that. And you're right. I need to work harder at not being the guy with the brain tumor. But by the same token, I run into people all the time who I haven't seen in a while, who I may have been closer to in the past. And I get the, oh, how are you? Are you okay? And sometimes that's warranted, especially when I feel down and I feel bad and I'm just bouncing back from another one of my many, I guess, troughs back to a peak, because things do roll in these waves of peaks and troughs. And when people say it to me like that, how are you? Are you okay? Sometimes I feel grateful. I feel gratitude that these people are generally concerned with me, and then other times I feel frustrated because I don't want to be this condition that I am experiencing. But I also come to the realization that, like I said just a moment ago, that having a brain tumor and regressive seizures and epilepsy is something that has defined me. It's made me the person that I am. So it is a tricky thing to deal with, and that's it. That's a very valid point or question to Chris. So thank you for asking. I appreciate that. I just got done with a minor umbilical hernia surgery, which appears to have gone well. It's inspiring me. Hopefully, I can keep this train rolling once I get recovered and healed enough. I'm going to start working on sculpting my body and feeling and looking even better than I have been up till now. Things are tougher when you're getting older. None of us are getting younger, so we have to work extra hard every day moving forward to keep up with the youthful us that we once knew, but can't live in the past, and you can't stress about the future, so you have to focus on what we have right now, and I have to keep reminding that to myself, and I hope that you remind that to yourself. One last thing I'm going to touch on. This is something that's been on my mind for a bit. I've become in touch with a woman who has impacted me through her own struggles with an oligodendroglioma too, just like the one that I have. Not just like it. I mean, no two are the same. Hers is in a different position in her brain, a little bit centered and maybe back from where mine is. But we'll just call her Monique. And Monique, I know you're scared. I know you're going through some of what I went through last summer. That is radiation therapy. I say therapy loosely, but radiation treatment and probably temozolomide or some sort of oral chemotherapy pill that they want you to take. I would say radiation has helped me. It has undoubtedly knocked back some of the swelling on my brain. I had, over the course of about 2 years, the tumor that I was looking at about quarterly had come to a point where it had grown about 2 centimeters, and something seemed to need to be done. There was some sculculation, which means that the 2 lobes were starting to erode because of this swelling pushing in on the tumor. Biopsy really messed me up, and I needed some kind of relief from that. And radiation, though I think looking back in the future, is not going to be seen as a very optimal solution or means to helping with it, is something right now that seems to be the best option in reduction of these very unwanted brain tumors. So what I say to you, Monique, since you are dealing with a lot of the similar things, I want to say to you that you just got to keep hanging tough like a new kid. No, but seriously, the part leading up to the procedure of the radiation and even the chemo is really the toughest, because, as Tom Petty said, the waiting is the hardest part. The anticipation, the fear, that's what really gets you the most. It's more than just getting in there and battling it out, fighting, getting in the ring and just saying, let's do this. Like, I'm ready to go. And, fear and struggle is harder than actually confrontation of that which it is. And was it Winston Churchill who said, we have nothing to fear but fear itself? And that's so true. Of course, he was probably afraid of running out of booze too, but that's for another post. Anyways, I think you'll do well. I think that having a support system of people who can empathize with what you're going through, it looks like you have a great support system there with your boyfriend and with your family. I know that you're struggling because friends seem to scatter like cockroaches when the lights come on. You can see that, but you know that there's people out there that love you. And for myself, I got focused on a while on all those people who disappeared, all of the people who my super ego thought that they were thinking, aren't you dead yet? Why aren't you dead? Like, why are you still here asking for donations to the National Brain Tumor Society? Why are you still, coming around talking about brain tumors and your condition? And you really have to be strong and not let those voices, which a lot of those voices are created inside our own heads. They're our own, like I said, super egos and our own. I know that a lot of people really are assholes and they can be mean and they can be hurtful, but those people really weren't your friends to begin with. They were just along for a good time. They were just along for the ride until things went bad. And, there could have been some really great times, and they're not just, I guess you can't define everyone as just simply an asshole or a good person. There's a lot of complexity to a person, and you really can't worry about what anyone else thinks. You have to be strong in your own character, and and I'm saying this for myself just as much, but you have to really believe in what you are standing for and what you are going to be brave against. And I think that by you doing this, you can be an advocate and you can hold tight for other people who really need your support if you're willing to do that. And if not, that's fine too. But just know that whatever trials and tribulations lay ahead for you, that this will only make you stronger. And who knows what tomorrow brings, but you have to focus on right now and doing what's best for you right now. Granted, after I had my radiation and chemo, I still went through a lot of hard times. Like right after I did it, I quit doing chemotherapy after one round because I'm a person who doesn't believe in chemotherapy. At least not for me. This is not me advocating either way. I say do what you feel in your heart is right, but excuse me, not my bag. And I'm not going to put poison in my body that I think may cause me further cancer or cancers. And I think the radiation certainly had at least immediate positive result in reducing the size of my tumor. So I did it reluctantly, but it worked out because I really felt like there was no alternative, no alternative choice at that point. But everybody's brain cancer is a little bit different. As I've repeatedly said, there's more than 120 different types of known brain tumors and affecting nearly 700,000 Americans in this country, and there's breakthroughs every day. There's new understanding every day. There's new education thanks to groups like the National Brain Tumor Society, which is the largest organization in America dedicated to the education, research, and hopefully more cures and trials that are coming up to eradicate brain tumors. So on that note, I'm going to thank everyone who has contributed to the cause of the National Brain Tumor Society, who has supported me by supporting the National Brain Tumor Society, because it might not be in my lifetime that a cure is found, but through your support and hopefully through my advocacy and your advocacy, that will come on down the road shortly. If you'd like to know more and you'd like to hear more on what I'm going through and what the National Brain Tumor Society has to offer and what they're all about, you can go to my page, which is braintumorcommunity.org/go/brain tumor cure. Or if you just want to check out the National Brain Tumor Society's homepage, you can go to braintumor.org. If you're in another town and you just want to see what events there are that you can get involved with, you can go to braintumor.events.org. Oh, I'm sorry, I got that wrong. Events.braintumor.org. And but yeah, go to my page. Hopefully there's enough information. I think a lot is lacking on the National Brain Tumor Society's social media and web page. Sorry to throw down some criticism, but I'm having a hard time right now using their website as I have the last couple of years. But great organization, great grassroots organization, and 80% of the money that you give goes directly to research and advocacy. The 20% outside of that all goes to staffing the great folks who have to work there to make it happen. Nothing in this world happens for free, as you know. So it's a great organization. A lot of other 501c3 not-for-profit organizations, a lot of their funding goes in the pockets of people who aren't involved in research, education, and working towards cures. So I think that that's what sets the National Brain Tumor Society apart from a lot of these other organizations. Plus, they have such a far reach in what they're able to do, and we're seeing treatments and progress happen all the time. And you can find out more if you do go to their website, braintumor.org. And again, check out my personal website link to them, which is, and all the donations go directly to the National Brain Tumor Society. And we're building up towards our walk on August 6th, which is the Sunday coming up here in Portland, Oregon. And then there's events all over the country at events.braintumor.org. But you can check mine out. I'm going to put these links on the sidebar here if I post this on YouTube and on State of Euphorbia, which is my blog for now. Go to braintumorcommunity.org/go/brain tumor cure. This is Angelo, and if you have any questions about anything, ranging from diet, ranging from depression, there's a lot involved when you're dealing with brain tumors and you're dealing with a terminal or critical condition. I'm hoping mine's not terminal, but right now I've been given some not favorable outlooks on what to expect, but fortunately an oligodendroglioma stage 2 at this point is one of the better kinds of brain tumors I guess I could hope for, but there's still a lot of trouble involved with it, ranging from medication to epilepsy, etc., etc. But I really appreciate everyone out there who's shown support and love, and everyone that finds this useful. It makes me very happy. That's about 20 minutes of me talking, and thank you for listening. I hope you have a wonderful day, and peace.